Welcome to Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. Well, as every year we say, it's been a whirlwind of a growing season, and we're starting to come down to the end when it comes to the forage ones, as farmers are taking a critical measurement of when do they take that last cutting for Old Man Winter and the cold temps will set in. Of course, we're talking again with Steve Rice, SR Farms Alfalfa Company and Husker Hay Haulers. Steve, 2023 has been one for the record books and not in a positive direction. Good news is a little bit of green hay behind us. We talked last just on the precipice of the start of third cutting. Things were a little jumbled. How things went since then?
You know, we had a good run through third cutting. We had real hot, dry weather tail end August, and we rolled through pretty much all of our third cutting and got some nice hay in the shed. We also have been dealing with trying to get the hay barns put back together. The construction company's been here and they've torn off all the tin and replaced that on the hay sheds in the shop. So to start a fourth, we're in better shape. I'm not near worried about the hay sheds and the condition of that, and we're in better shape for putting up some quality fourth.
So things are finally looking good, and you bring it up right there. Fourth cutting does look like it's going to happen on this go-round. Things are at least looking up a little bit that way. How do you time when to take that fourth cutting to make sure you've got enough regrowth going into winter?
Mother Nature's going to dictate that a lot. It's been that type of a year. We just had a storm last weekend that, last Thursday, week ago today, it hailed a quarter off into the ground. So that won't get touched. We just cut some yesterday, and then now we're going to be looking at when's it going to freeze. Are we going to get any fifth on some of the stuff that we took earlier? So Mother Nature's going to tell us that, how much regrowth is there, when does it freeze hard and kill it, and then the age of that stand, whether or not we actually want to harvest a fifth or let it go. And I'm guessing that we're probably within, generally speaking, maybe 3 weeks, we'll probably be shutting things down.
Wow, already 3 weeks away. It's amazing just how all the things that have been able to happen this year. And, of course, focusing in back to where that third cutting was, you had some fields, they had been hailed, kind of gotten stemmy, had kind of gotten some things off. Now that the third cutting kind of worked for you, has everything caught back up a little bit and a little bit more on time of where we'd expect to see it this time of year?
We're all over the place this year. We had fields that got hammered twice with hail, and then that just set our rotation back farther on that. We had other fields that were extremely drought, so we're all over the place as far as the schedule. Most everything is going to get cut 4 times. I think everything will get cut 4 times. The dry land shut down, so those dry land corners didn't produce anything here on the end of August and fourth cutting in September, but the irrigated, we're going to get a fourth on everything, maybe a little bit of fifth, but not very much.
So there we go. So it may earn some fifth cutting, but at least there will be some of that fifth cutting there. On the marketing side of it, of course, we're keeping a close eye on it. And dairy quality, that premium quality alfalfa has been hard to come by. Are we just seeing that market continue to climb while feed grade and maybe more cow hay qualities kind of holding down there at a steady?
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more low-end hay in the market this year compared to last year where everybody was just searching for any kind of feed last year. There's going to be quite a bit of that lower-end feed. Dairy quality hay is still in high demand. Doesn't matter, it always is. And you're seeing demand for even some of the lower stock cow quality hay going to Texas. We've been shipping to Texas quite a bit here lately. So it's going to be all over. We're getting some phone calls from Wisconsin again. Even got a call from a deer farmer that is looking for that top end stuff. So there's good demand for good quality hay all the time.
Wow, it's amazing, just all the different type of operations that you're going to be able to go into. With that being said, what do you focus on over the winter months? Is it equipment maintenance? Is it planning in for the next year? What do you do kind of that downtime for a forage farm?
We work on our marketing aspect, try to get this hay marketed. My son and I are going to go up to the World Dairy Expo at Madison, Wisconsin next week with the independent forage growers in Nebraska Alfalfa, promote Nebraska Alfalfa and talk to our customers that come up there, and we sometimes get to see them there. We will have all of the equipment cleaned up. It will all go through the shop and maintenance, all that. We'll work with our agronomist working on our fertilizer programs and grid sampling and see where we want to be on some of these fields, look at rotational crops when we're going to tear stuff out, and just mainly a lot of maintenance. Everything gets gone through in the winter.
And when it comes to kind of deciding on that, we were talking about that last time. Due to some of this hail, we had a little more weed pressure in some of these fields than what we'd like to see in a lot of times. Are we maybe going to get a chance next spring to get ahead of those weeds with some pre-emergence, or is it something that maybe some fields are going to have to come out a little sooner than you typically like?
Between the drought and the hail, we did rotate some fields out quicker than what we probably normally would have. Weed pressure is most definitely there this year on those acres, and we will work obviously with our agronomist in putting down pre-emerge herbicides so that we can get control as best we can. We may even try to do 2 applications during the year or something to try to help minimize the weeds, because it's a problem this year.
Well, definitely things we'll be kind of keeping an eye on when it comes into the 2024 growing season. Steve, you have been an incredible host, bringing us onto your farm, letting us see your operation, and a year that's been tough and a year that's been challenging. Any thoughts on Fridays on the Field and being able to be a part of our program this year?
We really appreciate what you guys do. I mean, it was an honor to have you here and show you what we do in the forage industry, and we really appreciate the work that KRVN and Rural Radio does for rural Nebraska and everything, and it was an honor to be on.
And let's not forget as well that as you were talking about the Nebraska Alfalfa Marketing Association, independent forage growers, you're going heading over to Madison, Wisconsin. Tell us what other type of activities are included with that World Dairy Expo as it relates to forage.
Oh, well, there's the Super Bowl of forage. We've competed in that in the past. We did not have an entry this year, but that's involved. You get to see all the seed guys and the equipment is up there. It's quite a show, but it's all tailored around, obviously, dairy, and it's unique to see all of the milking parlors, all the different things that are there, and everybody comes from all over the country. So it's really a great opportunity. We meet customers from Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, and Texas, wherever. I mean, a lot of people come there. So it's a great opportunity to put Nebraska alfalfa out there in front of everybody and our business, and it's just a great network to work with.
Well, again, thanks so much for letting us be a part of your operation this year, getting to take a year of a growing season with SR Farms Alfalfa Company. Before I let you go, though, final thoughts, closing comments on the very last one.
Well, it's just really appreciative that you came in to our farm, and really appreciate KRVN, and glad that we were able to be a part of it.
And again, is Steve Rice, SR Farms Alfalfa Company, Husker Hay Haulers, as we are starting to come down to the final weeks of the forage growing season here for 2023. It's Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank, right here on the Rural Radio Network.